Buenas noches todos y todas. Welcome to our Richmond Rising Stakeholder Collaborative Committee, CSC number 3. Quiero mencionar para las personas que hablan español, tenemos interpretación en la parte de atrás. Nos acompaña nuestro intérprete, Leticia Obregón. Si ustedes necesitan audífonos, pueden tomarlos de la mesa que tenemos en el fondo. We want to remind you that this meeting requires all the PCC project leads to be present in person and here at Levin Community Center, located at 598 Levin Avenue, Richmond, California, 94801. Any community member who wants to join the meeting, including partners, residents, students, business owners, or any other person who's interested in the project, can do it in person or through our Zoom webinar. And the link can be seen on our screen. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to call to order and a roll call. So it's 6:09, and I'm calling to this Richmond Rising Community Stakeholder Committee to order. I'll do the roll call, and I will mention the name of our organization. Please confirm your name to include it in the meeting's record. Project lead for GRID.
Ambassador Kansai.
Thanks, Ambassador. Project lead for Groundwork Richmond.
Sarah Calderon.
Project lead for Rich City Rights.
Mayeli Rico.
Thank you, Mayeli. Project lead for Trust for Public Land.
Annie Youngerman.
Thanks. Project lead for UC Berkeley.
Alicia Bruno.
Project lead for Urban Chill. Project lead for City of Richmond, Beatriz Guerrero. So that was our roll call, and as I mentioned, this is the meeting information. If you also want to join us via phone number, there are the phone numbers that you can dial in the webinar ID. And we remind you that all community members and members of the public must abide by the community agreements that we have. If you're wondering which are those we presented in the meeting previously, but we have copies in the back for people who have not seen them before. And we are going to be doing a land acknowledgement. Does anyone want to help with the land acknowledgement?
I can help.
I can.
Sure.
Yeah, I can share the screen.
Thank you. Our land acknowledgement. While Richmond Rising seeks to strengthen the economy, improve public health and the environment, particularly in the Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado neighborhoods, we do so with the awareness that we occupy unceded Wacheen and Karkan Ohlone territory. Anybody else want to?
I'll jump in. We acknowledge that land theft of indigenous homelands and dismantling of indigenous sovereignty was done to advance colonization.
I'll continue. We acknowledge that capitalism and white supremacy are branches of colonization that have persisted throughout hundreds of years of oppression, are alive today, and contribute to keeping Black, Indigenous, and all other people of color from thriving.
You want to go?
We further acknowledge that this country's political economy and social institutions were built on the forced labor of African people on stolen land and through violent, systematic abduction from their homelands and enslavement over hundreds of years.
We further acknowledge the exploitation of immigrant and refugee communities as modern forms of cheap and disposable labor are regularly carried out on stolen land.
Thus, we acknowledge that we have been impacted and harmed by these histories and experiences imposed on our ancestors and communities. We further uplift the shared struggle among Black, Indigenous, and all people of color.
We also acknowledge that indigenous people continue to steward the land and resist settler colonialism.
We conclude that our land acknowledgement is an active and evolving statement and process. It requires us to recognize historical injustices and invites us to be active participants in our collective healing.
Thanks, everyone. For the members of the public and for the project leads in this committee, the City of Richmond and 6 local organizations, together known as Richmond Rising, received $35 million to bring health, economic, and environmental benefits to the Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado neighborhoods. And Richmond Rising is supported by the California Strategic Growth Council's Transformative Climate Communities Program. This collaborative stakeholder committee meeting provides guidance on project implementation and holds us accountable in reaching our goals. can make recommendations, provide input, and assist project leads in implementing project activities, does not have a final decision-making authority, and project leads must consider the recommendations from the committee and members of the public. So you're welcome to this meeting anytime that you want to join us, and we will hear the recommendations that you have to provide for this project. So right now we have a public comment that is a public comment space available for the people who are joining us in this meeting. Is there anyone who has a public comment connected to items that are not included in the agenda? Voy a preguntar en español para las personas que tenemos en el público. Si ustedes quieren comentar algún tema que no esté incluido en la agenda que tenemos, este sería un buen momento para hacer público su comentario. Do we have anyone online?
We do, but no raised hands.
No raised hands. Okay. I'm going to go to the next item on the agenda. So each partner usually shares in this meeting an up-to-date financials and grants expenditures to date for each project, and we also share the project status of every project.
Just sorry to interrupt, because it's not in the slides, but it is in the agenda. We want to next review or just approve the meeting minutes from the last week.
Oh, you're
Sorry
right.
That it's not in the slides.
We will include it. I'm sorry that I didn't do that. I wanna go back to the previous item in the agenda. We have submitted for all the project leads who are present in this meeting the last two actually the last two, right, Matthias? The last two minutes, and we share that with you. We received a few comments and we updated the agendas based on that, and we want to approve them today. So can someone support me with a motion for approval? And or yeah. Thank you.
So who made the motion?
I motion. Well, yeah.
Please help Matthias. And Alicia seconds the motion. So we approve. No, let's do the voting. So can we do the voting of the motion, approval of the minutes? UC Berkeley? Yes. Grid Alternatives? Trust for Public Land? Yes. Brownwood Richmond? Yes. Rich City Rights? Yes. Urban Hill? City of Richmond? Yeah. So approved by all members attending the committee. Thank you, Matthias. So now we're going to go to a part where we do the project status report. This is where all the members share their information as well as their up-to-date financials and grants expenditures. So I'm going to start with Grantee, and if it's okay with the rest of the partners, I will let you do your updates when the slide comes. So for the city of Richmond, who's grantee of the TCC Transformative Climate Communities Grant, we have executed all the contracts and agreements with the partners. Finally, we have 6 out of 6 contracts and agreements with Grid Alternatives, Brownwood Richmond, Trust for Public Land, Rich City Rights, Urban Tilt, and UC Berkeley. The last one that we finalized with was UC Berkeley in the last month. So just to let you know that all our staff has been hired. That was the 2 positions that were created temporarily for the grant. We also got approved by City Council, the Strategic Growth Council Implementation Technical Assistance Grant. This will let us keep our consultants for the implementation of the grant. And CSC meetings, well, we have scheduled them, we have coordinated, and we're currently facilitating meeting number 3, but we also have been including translation, investment, and childcare. We also want to let you know that in our previous meeting, we posted the agenda finally 10 days ahead of time. We sent that to you and posted it on Friday before the meeting. So for anyone who wants to know additional details about invoice and reporting, we submitted invoices 1 to 4. Finally, on the 30th, we submitted, actually on the 29th, we were early one day. We submitted the state report, and we received confirmation from them that they have received it. What reports and invoices 1 to 3 have been approved. We have only received 1 reimbursement check for invoice number 1. So you know, and the total expenditures reported to date is $135,000. We still have $558,000 left. And for the next two weeks, we will have the agendas for the CSE meeting the minutes and possibly the agendas in the next 2 weeks for the next CSE meeting. And we will be responding questions about the invoice number 4, which is the one that we just submitted. We will work with you on the leverage reports, which we were talking about earlier this month, and we'll be processing and paying invoices from partners. So if you have any invoices left, please let us know.
And just to clarify, we got reimbursed one check from SGC, but we've reimbursed everybody here.
Correct. That is correct.
We just haven't gotten reimbursed for reimbursing y'all.
Thanks, Matthias. So neighborhood complete streets, we don't have Joseph here today, who's our capital improvement project manager from the city, but just so you know, the city prepared an RFP for neighborhood complete streets project, submitting the plan to professional civil design services, received and reviewed a proposal from CSW to support the development of the grant, and the CIP manager reviewed this proposal and requested changes to the consultants, and the final design of this consultants was approved to start work. This has the expenditures of this project have been $6,315, and the remaining budget is $5,700,000. And the plan work in the next week is to set up the project kickoff meeting and to schedule the stakeholder meeting this month and have CSW set up the community meeting with the Richmond neighborhood councils. So just so you know, for the projects that are working on infrastructure, this project is about to kick off, and I believe that we're probably going to be invited to some of the meetings for coordination with this project. And I'm going to let Trust for Public Land do the updates on Richmond Wellness Trail.
Thank you.
Sandy.
Work completed since the last meeting. We're still negotiating contract with our design consultant Placeworks, but that's planned to finish soon, and we'll bring them on board and hopefully have a kickoff meeting in the next month, not the next 2 weeks, but in the next month. And we've also had initial meetings, discussions around community engagement strategy, so that we can coordinate with some other projects and the overall TCC engagement work.
Thank you so much, Annie. E-Bike Lending Library, Rich City Rice, do you want to do you opted, Miami?
Sure. The work completed since last meeting, we've continued, it's still in progress, but we're continuing preparation of design and construction documents. We prepared for the TCC kickoff event on April 20th, and we completed bi-monthly invoicing and progress reports. Bring the total budget.
Yeah.
Okay, so total expenditures reported to date is $63,692.36. The remaining budget is $2.3 million. The planned work in the next 2 weeks is while we're preparing for, continuing to prepare for the presentation design review board for project approval. We're posting and currently interviewing candidates for the TCC Youth Fellow Program Manager position. We plan to hire a TCC Youth Fellow Program Manager. We're currently planning outreach and promoting at the City of Richmond Cinco de Mayo event, and we received pricing for a solar panel system to comply with the requirements of the future EVLL building. And we are currently also we will be creating an O&M agreement plan for the EVLL.
Thanks, Majani. Can you explain to us what's the last point of the O&M agreement for the electric library?
Sure, it's an operation, maintenance, and manual agreement, since we will be subleasing the building from the City of Richmond.
Thank you, Majani. I'm gonna let Grid Alternatives do the updates for Resilient Homes.
Definitely, thank you. So since we've last met, we've completed 2 client projects, about 20 energy efficiency clients served. We've had 6 outreach events coordinated. Please excuse the next line, it's a typo. Don't write this after 9 p.m. at night. Participated in the TCC Earth Day event, Richmond Rising Earth Day event. Total expenditures to date, $115,000 and $150,490. Remaining budget, $6.8 million. Planned work in the next 2 weeks. We have 3 solar projects, already scheduled, and, Resilient Homes team has scheduled an internal client training set for next Thursday at midnight.
Awesome. Thank you, Ambessa. I'm gonna let, Urban Chill through the Basins of Relations update.
So for the Basins of Relations project, work completed since the last meeting. New water conservation apprentices integrated within the Urban Tilt team, supporting water conservation installations and creek restoration work. The first water efficiency improvement installed for Richmond homeowners was also accomplished, primarily focused on drip irrigation for vegetable beds so far. Total expenditures reported to date, 126,000, remaining 15 million. I think that was typo. Is that a typo?
I think so.
Yeah.
1.5.
Like 15 million. That's like half. That's like half.
Take it.
So 1.5, is
Oh, sorry.
more like it's 1.5 million. Plan work in the next 2 weeks is hoping to find our first resident interested in longitude landscape gray water recycling installation at their home. We'll also be hiring a gray water outreach coordinator, hopefully at some point in May. We're also developing our expertise, potentially receiving certification for all staff in water catchment.
I'm gonna let, from Richmond do the Costa del Barrio update.
Sure.
Thanks, Sarah.
We continue to work on adopted tree canvassing with our workforce tree crew. We completed invoice and reporting sort of because internet was down in Point Richmond, so we're still in the process of doing that. We participated in the Richmond Rising Kickoff on Thursday at Unity Park. We also actually participated at Shills Reef that also had an Earth Day event, so we did double duty for this project. In addition to that, we've updated our outreach plan. We executed a job search, and in the next report, today we hired 2 people for the project, so, but
Awesome.
that'll be next, yeah. But yeah, we completed a job search over the last month, and we did additional canvassing and meeting at Atchison Village, which is actually member monthly meeting that they have. They're not a neighborhood council, but they're part of the Iron Triangle, so it's our focus in there. And I think that's it. Expenditures today, 40,606.11. Our remaining budget, 1,047,406.64. The next 2 weeks, we'll be onboarding our new staff people, and we'll continue to attend neighborhood council meetings. Oh, I didn't say at the kickoff event at Unity Park, we got 2 new tree adopters. And,
12,
and
right?
actually, yeah, 12 just from there. And actually, I think there were more than 12, but we're still going through them. So in addition to that, and that's next month's report, will be planting those trees. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And in the next couple of weeks, that's what we'll be doing. We'll continue to attend the council meetings, contact the adoptees, schedule site visits for their 811s, USA, the tree spots, and that's it.
Thanks, Sarah, for the update.
Sure.
I'm gonna let Urban Chill do the ADA accessible garden project status update.
So the ADA accessible garden, since the last meeting, we attended the TCC kickoff event, for Richmond Rising on April 20th. Still continuing to drafting up our construction documents. We also met with the city regarding the procurement process. Total expenditures reported to date, 32,000, remaining budget 922,000. Planned work in the next 2 weeks is to plan a final garden design unveiling to the target community. Update project schedule for an extension request, and then also hoping to finalize those construction documents as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Chico, for the update. We're gonna let you continue with Orchard for All.
And for Orchard for All, same thing, since the last meeting, we attended the TCC kickoff event on April 20th, and we actually were able to distribute some fruit trees. We continued fruit tree pickups for the project area at our farm in North Richmond, and we're also training our gleaner coordinator who's on the team now. Total expenditures reported today, 48,000, remaining in the budget 1.1 million. planned work in the next 2 weeks. We're gonna finalize our training curriculum after we get some feedback and review on it. We'll begin drafting up our summer training application form. We're also gonna develop a schedule and outline for the 6-week training program. And we're also gonna be creating our outreach material for the summer training program.
Thanks for the updates. Then I'll let you continue.
VeggieRx, work completed since the last meeting. We wrapped up invoice 4, woo-hoo. Developed preliminary plan for project expansion to 200+ vegetable box prescription. We also onboarded our new VeggieRx project manager who is here today. Hey, what's up? Total expenditures reported to date, 155,000, remaining in the budget, 3 million. Planned work in the next 2 weeks is to continue training our new VeggieRx project manager and begin working on readiness for task 4, which is the climate-friendly diet.
Fantastic. Thanks, Cheeto. Do we have a question in the?
No, sorry, I was chatting with someone I didn't know.
Oh, I thought we had a member of the public who was asking questions.
No.
For the e-voucher system, the city has been continuing to work with community-based organizations. The e-bike system. Oh, lunch. We have Salma, so I'm gonna let her do this. Is that okay? Okay. We trained higher staff, which one of them was Salma. Actually, we were in the process of hiring a community manager. We actually got a community manager. That's you, yes. And completed a community outreach and engagement plan for implementation. And total expenditures to date is 0 because we haven't finalized the readiness requirements for this project. So there's 2 more documents that need to be completed, and then we'll be able to charge the state for this project. So still TBD. And the remaining budget is $998,000. And plan work in the next couple of weeks is place additional bikes throughout the city and identify locations, and also finalize the documents that we need for the state to be able to reimburse us in relationship to this project. In relationship to the community engagement plan, Matias and myself and other partners have been attending the Iron Triangle and Santa Fe neighborhood councils. We also attended the Earth Day event and Richmond Rising Kickoff at Unity Park. And we finished the website that was sent to all the partners. We hope you had the chance to look at it and provide comments. And some of the edits have been made already. So, but if you have any follow-ups in relationship to the website, please feel free to send it to us. We also set up our social media accounts, and they were launched for doing outreach and also connecting with other organizations that can be stakeholders in the project. So we'll send you all this in a new email where you have a lot of the surprises that we already got for you. And planned in the next 2 weeks is outreach through social media, and also sharing with you some of the tools that we have created. We have an item in the agenda to show you the project map GIS, so you can be able to track your addresses and review them in there. So for purposes of engagement or whatever you need. In relationship to the displacement avoidance plans that the city is also working on, we updated Blue Dot database. This is a database for businesses. So the software was bought by the city, and what they did was a geofencing for the TCC area, meaning they created boundaries for the project area, identifying all the businesses that are included in Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado. And they are sending messages to test the communication software within the project area. This means they communicate with the businesses based on the business license information that they have. And they hosted an event on April 28th, Placement for Small Business Week at Stevens Center Plaza. This was not only for project area business, it was for any business in the city. However, they also were tracking which businesses that attended this event are businesses that are located in the project area. We also got a reviewed draft of the ADU toolkit and checklist, and have been sent to the state for review. So that's for the ADU toolkit part of the displacement avoidance plan. Expenditures, $82,000. Remaining budget, $599,000. And the work that is planned in the next 2 weeks is levying taxes to the downtown Richmond Property Business Improvement District, and a quarterly update on the Blue Dot database with business information, which is the software that I mentioned at the beginning of the project status report. In relationship to the workforce development and economic opportunity plan that the city is also guiding together with Grid Alternatives, Grid Alternatives hired a solar trainer to lead the training program. So that's also an update that was provided by them. And the city released an RFP for a consultant to develop a place-based workforce development strategy and implementation plan. Unfortunately, we launched one 4 weeks ago, and we did not receive any response. So this is a new one focused on an invitation to 3 of the companies that are consultant teams that have been working with the city in the workforce development project, so that we got the chance to reduce the number of people that we send it to, but at least find people who have worked with the city and that we know could potentially do this work. So that has been sent, and we're waiting to get responses on May 15th. So we will let you know if we got someone who responded to this specific RFP. Total expenditures $6,500, and remaining budget $1.4 million. And the planned work in the next 2 weeks is Grid Alternatives will be onboarding their new solar training. The start date is May 6th, and the city of Richmond will begin evaluation of the RFP responses after May 15th. So this was in relationship to the plans that the city has, and I'm gonna let UC Berkeley do the indicator tracking plan update.
Hi, everyone. Our team has been meeting with project partner leads. We're hoping to finalize that by this week, I think. And so we're in the process of updating project indicators. We implemented the first round of feedback that was shared by you all, and now we're in the process of continuing that with indicator tables. We updated our card tools. We've learned as we conducted the meetings that some of the indicators weren't quite as accurate. So we worked on that. I guess something that's not on there, we also talked to the city about what the plan to share data on Transparent Richmond is, and what that will look like in terms of sharing data back with the community. I think our total expenditures are not quite accurate yet, because as you've heard, we just finalized our contract, and with a lot of patience and kindness from the city, we're figuring out what our invoicing process looks like. So those figures aren't updated yet. In terms of our plan, we're hoping to complete project partner meetings, like I mentioned before. And our goal is to map all of the deadlines. We know that you all are dealing with a lot of just different deadlines and reporting timelines. So we're hoping to do that internally and begin a draft, I guess, for the reporting plan process, and plan to share that with you all in data workshops later on.
Thanks for the update, Alice. And do we have any questions from the committee in relationship to the project status reports? Any comments? We're good. So I'm going to open this to the public. Do you have any questions or any comments, public comments in relationship to the project status report? Are you sure? Estamos abriendo el espacio para que nos hagan preguntas o comentarios sobre los estatus de los proyectos que se hicieron. Si tienen algunas, por favor, levanten su mano y con mucho gusto pueden hablar. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the next item on the agenda. And this is a space that we have set up for reporting on public comments and questions. I know that some of you have attended events, and this is the space for you to provide us updates or questions that you have heard from community members or boards, commissions that you have met with that you think are worth talking about in this meeting. Are there any questions, feedback, any topics that you think we should address in this item? We attended one neighborhood council meeting, and that was Santa Fe neighborhood council meeting. And Actually, MCE and Lifelong Medical attended too with us, as well as actually e-bike lending library, because Marcia, who's the consultant working in that project, happened to be there for a completely different reason, but we ended up having 4 projects in that meeting. And I think the majority of the questions were connected to the details of the program. People wanted to know how exactly MCE calculated the income level. They also provided feedback on the table that they have for income and the number of people. They were asking for examples on how to calculate that, because they were saying, also, I cannot apply to the program if I don't have a household of 5 people. And we're like, no, you can apply for them even if you don't have that number of people, but you need to make sure that the income is adjusted by the number of people that are part of the household. So things like that. And I think we also heard in relationship to tree planting for both fruit trees and trees that Groundwork Richmond is planting. A member of the public was mentioning that they wanted them to use water containers. I am not very technical about this topic, but they wanted to build containers under the tree to make sure that they didn't have to water it very frequently. Matthias, can you elaborate on that, because you were the one who had that direct conversation with the
I'm also
resident?
not an expert in trees, so I don't know the words, but there's like describing a plastic container.
Water bag, we actually use those.
Okay.
So I don't know if Lorena answered that.
Oh, she
She
was
was-
there.
Oh,
She was there. We were just there and he said,
Listen,
oh,
yeah.
you should use this. And we said, okay, we'll let them know.
yeah.
So we let them know and we'll say. Committee member Calderon responded that.
It's called a water bag.
Water bag.
Water bags. 3 bags, yeah.
Yeah, we just bring you what we hear that we think could be useful, and saying if you attend any public meeting, committee meeting, anything that you think we should know, I think this is the space to share that information. As far as the projects related to e-bike lending library, they were just willing to know about the bikes, what types of bikes we were getting, and there was one additional question. How do you remember what was the other question
I
about?
think it was about the cargo bikes.
Yeah. Oh, and if the bikes could have things to carry, to have a basket. Those were the questions that we were not able to answer because we were in the process of construction, but we didn't know the details. So in case you want to keep track of that for providing that information to residents.
Thank you.
Didn't we also attend the Iron Triangle? Yeah. Do you have any questions? I don't remember.
Yeah, that was 2 meetings ago, for CSU.
Okay.
Yeah, and we shared information about that on the previous meeting. So we kind of keep updating the new questions that we hear from, but it's recorded
And
on
then everything is tracked in the minutes.
in the minutes. Yeah, you can follow up on the minutes. We're including in there all the questions and things that we have heard. So in case you have, you are looking for notes, you can find them there too.
I just wrote down everything Beatrice said.
Thank you, Matthias. We're gonna continue with the next items in the agenda. So, if you remember in our previous meeting, we reviewed the community bylaws. We reviewed the nomination process for community seats. We have to approve this 2 documents in this meeting actually, because we by MOU we're supposed to do this by the 3rd meeting. So today would be the time when we approve this too. We wanted to open a space for kickoff meeting reflection. So we talk a little bit about what happened and if there are things that we can improve, what did you like, what you didn't like, and how we can make that a better thing. I know Urban Tilt already hosted a meeting, but we also wanted to open it to the public and just hear from everyone who attended. We also want to show you the project area map and for you to try it. We'll send that tomorrow as a follow-up, so you can start trying it for your projects to make sure if an address is or not part of the project area. And we also want to talk about best practices for outreach and the indicator tracking plan reporting that UC Berkeley wanted to talk to you about. So these are the business items that we have for the committee today. And I'm going to go directly to the community bylaws. Are there any questions? You have the document physically in your package. We edited the document based on the comments that were provided by all the project leads who provided feedback. For anyone in the public who doesn't know what we're talking about, this committee needs to be ruled by bylaws, and they are supposed to be approved by this meeting. And we have copies in the table in case you want to know the details of this conversation.
And
So
I think we can approve, if there's minor revisions, we can approve
with minor revisions.
with
Yeah,
minor.
yeah.
Okay.
I know the majority of you have reviewed them, but are there any comments in relationship to this? Do you see the changes that you included in the minutes? We added the alternates conversation that we had on the first meeting where you requested that we had additional people who could join the meetings, and the only thing that we couldn't change, which was a question that you asked Vanessa in that meeting, was if we could join remotely.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the MOU that we have is not does not let us do that unless it's a health or security emergency.
Okay.
Of course, you can always join the meetings remote, but we cannot count your presence as attended. So since this is a group of documents, can we approve them both together?
I think that's appropriate, yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna go back to the we have other two documents that need to be approved today. One of them is the nomination process form. This is the document that we will be using to get our CSE, our Community Stakeholder Committee members from the public residents who want to join this committee, and our recruitment plan, which is the document that is gonna let us know how we are gonna be trying to reach out to the public, and who are we gonna reach out, and how are we gonna partner as Richmond Rising to spread the word about these positions that are available. So this is in your package for you too. We edited the nomination form actually based on the comments that you provided to us, but if you have any minor revision, it would be great that you let us know so we can add it and approve today all these three documents with minor changes in case you have any minor changes to this. So do we have any questions from the committee members? Any additional comments related to the documents or to the processes that we are including in these three documents?
I would encourage everyone to look at the recruitment plan. We didn't circulate that before the meeting, so it'd be good. There's a separate document. I think it's just one page, but or it's double-sided, sorry. That would be good to review if you have any comments on locations or organizations. There's a couple blank spaces, which was just really prompts for you, but yeah, any comments you have on that would be useful. We plan to, once the nomination form is approved, get it done tomorrow and send it out. So that will be in effect immediately.
I have a question.
Go ahead, sir.
On the application, and I may have missed a meeting or conversation. The question, what neighborhood do you or the person you're nominating represent? So you have the three project areas, but then it says other. Can somebody from outside of the project areas?
They can apply, but they cannot be part of the committee, but you still have to ask just to make sure if they're part of the,
Well, I
they're
think there's a few addresses that technically are not part of those three neighborhoods.
Mhm.
They're like on the outskirts. There's a few, and I don't even know what they are off the top of my head, but there are some that are within the census tract project area that wouldn't technically be part of this.
So
I think
technically,
Ashton Village maybe is one, but
I think this
Atchison
area,
Village is in Iron Island.
Okay, so like I said, I think I
So-
don't know, but I know that there are a few that are.
this areas are,
Oh, yeah, the areas by the ferry, and I think some by the park too.
It was a part of the
Here.
Stegi district that I saw it.
Oh.
Okay, yeah,
In the
well, that's why we have the project map. which-
Sorry, I
yeah,
just
which
cannot
is
see
giving
it.
you a sneak peek on it right now.
Yeah, so this area-
That's probably- that's why we put that in there.
Okay.
No, I just didn't know. who
No, that's a good
could
catch.
serve, yeah,
Sorry, I just spoiled this, but,
yeah.
it was for,
It's okay.
we had the map.
All right.
Then maybe that could be added into the question somehow, where it's like, although we are, looking for folks in the project area primarily, I don't know.
Yep.
Feel free to
Yeah,
put in your
maybe
address.
you can like, hyperlink the map and
To
say, yeah, if you're in them, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yes.
And yeah, if it's possible, I think, we can also say, do you live, work, or study in the project area, or any of this neighborhood, and link the map in there, just so people can go and look it up. And on the physical one, maybe we can just print the map. Because there's some folks who are probably not gonna do it online, they just want the printed version, so we can do that. Hi, welcome. We have put it there and we cut over there.
Are we commenting on the recruitment plan or just the nomination form?
Both.
Yeah.
The recruitment plan, like the application scorecard at the bottom, is there something at the end that explains who's making a decision, or is that not, maybe that's not part of the recruitment plan, but
We have to do it in
Next
here,
plan.
we have to do
We do it here.
the approval and the discussion.
thanks for,
It should be public.
thanks.
And the scoring, 1 to 10, 1 little experience, 10 highest experience,
Just explaining that.
yeah.
Okay. So we're inputting this source.
That's what, yeah, I didn't.
Yes.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
minor changes, so yeah.
So when we have the meeting where we review the applications, we'll give everyone a sheet with enough for everybody and it's just that. Are there any organization types, places, like physical places that you don't see in there that you think would be good?
Are there any barriers to promoting through school district?
Yeah, we intend to reach out to schools, high schools since they'll be older, in the project area.
Awesome.
And the other part, that's in there's flyers we're gonna give you on.
Okay.
Churches, probably, we're missing churches.
Oh, nice.
Or business type group. I don't know where I'm headed with that.
Yeah, like services, people who are like lifelong is a part of it, of course,
Yeah.
but like, is there a spark point, I believe?
Oh, we have Kaiser in the project area.
I was thinking that.
Mhm. Yeah. And I don't know if lifelong medical offices are in the project area.
I think they are.
So, pretty
I
close.
think they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah.
Can we add, neighborhood councils in here too?
Yeah, you're right,
I forget. Council.
Yeah.
which they already have copies.
I think they were so implied.
Cause we even designed
They
their
will be
flyers. for
emailing
them.
us.
Yeah, they definitely need all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And also for like key physical locations, maybe certain local businesses, within the project area, I'm not sure. What the criteria would be to determine if we could, put flyers there, but. I don't know, I'm just thinking about like just on McDonald, downtown Richmond area, there's a lot of businesses, but yeah.
So basically, we'll be approving this plan, and it's just like, what will we do? What are we doing? What will we do?
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, let us know how many physical copies you want if you want to spread the word within your organization. And if not, we'll send the electronic copies and you can print, of course, but if you need physical copies and you cannot print them at your office, let us know and we'll send you a package or you can pick it up from our office. Or members of the public, if you want to participate in the application process, please do so. And if you don't want to participate but know someone who would like to do it, please send them the application or nominate them because you can nominate someone else. Okay, so can we get? It's going to be a complicated one. So can we get a motion to approve the committee bylaws, the nomination form and the recruitment plan with the commented changes that were discussed during the meeting, which are recorded in and will be in the video plus the notes that we're taking in the minute.
Are you making the motion?
I think I'm gonna make the motion because it's a complicated one.
Yeah.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Sarah from Downward Richmond, taking the motion. And so can we get a vote? UC Berkeley?
Yeah.
Good alternatives, just for public land?
Yeah.
Downward Richmond, Mid City Right?
Yes.
Urban South? City of Richmond, yes. Approved by all the members of the committee. And done this, we have covered the mandatory things of this meeting. So we're gonna go to the more fun conversations, I hope. So we wanted to open this space for public kickoff reflections and just hear from you if you have any comments, if you were able to attend the event, and if you were not able to attend the event, but like support the people who were not there to hear what you saw and what you like, what you didn't like, what you think we can improve for our next events, because we're going to be hosting more events, so it will be important to know what things we can we can get better at.
First off, I want to say that passport stamp was really cool. I thought it was awesome to see people engaged and, you know, seeking out to get signatures and stamps and stuff. I thought that was super cool. Yeah, other than that, it was a good time. It was a good turnout.
Good turnout, yeah.
Yeah. I second that. I mean, I'm always moved by the Danzante themselves, so that was awesome. Got to talk to the mayor of Richmond, and that was like a really great experience. And it was like it was very activating for the work that we're doing. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but we received a publication from the Strategic Growth Council, a post from the Strategic Growth Council where they published pictures of the event in LinkedIn, and so I added all of you or your organizations in the post so you could see it. I don't know if you were able to see it, but we did that. Yeah, they posted substance in our event on their website.
I think it was a great event and successful. Had a lot of fun. Saw a lot of folks. We talked to a lot of folks about Bosque. I did have one feedback around the whole process. If the city of Richmond is hosting it, or this committee, Richmond Rising, is hosting an event, I think whether partners sign up or not, all of our logos should be included in that. And I feel Groundwork Richmond and you guys were left off some of the publication, and there was a confusion because we had to sign up with Urban Tilt, who is hosting the actual event. So that was very confusing. And so either this Richmond Rising, we host it, and it's Urban Tilt's adopted site. So, you know, kudos to them for always, you know, stepping up and hosting things. It's not about that. But if it's our project, then we need to be hosting it. And I didn't really feel that it was Richmond Rising hosting it.
Yeah.
So, just, branding is everything. And, you know, we did our own, well, you saw, we had Bosque del Barrio t-shirts and our little buttons because we had to do our own branding for our own project and we felt like not a part.
We understand, Sarah. Thank you for the feedback. And I think for this particular event, we just joined events that were already happening in the community because we do know that we didn't want to separate the community and just better focus on what was already happening. And this has been an event that has been hosted for multiple years in that place. So we wanted to honor that, and knowing that we had a partner who had already the logistics set up, and we understand why that was an issue. And we wanted everyone to participate. We also offered people to be able to join. And they didn't need to do anything but to show up to the meetings because we wanted to honor the way that they do things. And as city, I don't want to push any of you to do things in a different way than you usually do it, if that makes any sense. And we'll try to do it better in the next time and figure out how to get everyone on the logos. I just went by the rules that the organization already had, which I thought were communicated well, and we'll do a better effort in the next time to
Yeah,
do that
we
communication.
communicate, we don't have issues and we communicated with Our Lady, you know, and so we're all good. Just so you know, in the future though, several organizations have their own Earth Day events, including us. And so we also could have posted it somewhere. You know, we have an ongoing event every year, but we chose to participate in Richmond Rising. So, you know, there's that. And then not just us, that's why we were at Shields Reed also. So there were multiple events and for us, multiple opportunities to, you know, promote.
For sure. Well, we'll do better on the next one that we have. We're gonna host many. So that's great feedback and we appreciate it.
I have some feedback. The little pamphlets that you guys gave out were great. But I did find that most of the time there were a couple of people that would come up to my booth and they were having trouble identifying what booths were participating.
We need logos,
So maybe
right?
like that or a color coded system where we're all provided with like a dot or like a number to have on our tents so that people can easily identify us as participants.
That's great. Yeah, we actually have to thank Salma for that idea because we were talking the day before the event, well, 2 days before the event with Our Lady, and we were trying to figure out how to get people from the resident, we're residents from the project area, and we were like, how are we gonna do that? So we came up with the idea of doing that with Our Lady and Salma. So yeah, thanks for the questions, because that pushed us to do it. So we can definitely figure out a color system or the logo of your organization, which we thought would have been great to include. We just, we were not ready to do that in less than a day and then print it. But yes, we will improve those passports or passports.
So also in terms of planning for major events, a calendar ahead of time. So just so you know, Groundwork Richmond with the city of Richmond hosts Arbor Day on the 3rd October of every year. And so that's an event, and other folks, well, they don't do Arbor Day, but let's see, what other events are there? Of course, MLK, but we all partner with Friends of Richmond Greenway for that one. And but if we can create or
A calendar.
a calendar of potential events so that we can calendar them as well.
Yeah, just so you know, that's already in the website. So we can start adding events. So if we will send a follow-up email asking you for the events, and we'll post them on the calendar.
And we'll send a form and then you can just put any event you have in the form and it'll get added to the calendar.
Well, the events from all of us, I'm just wondering from Richmond Rising, are you all planning or are we all planning additional events?
This was the only one that we had for this year, but I think we should discuss which other events we want to co-host, and we can definitely do that. And where we can start is figuring out what you have on your calendar and see if we can see some collaboration for some of the events. Does that sound good? And I think next year we have to think about Earth Day anyway, because that's kind of like the event that can happen again. And what we can do is start working on what we would like to change from what we did this year and try to do it even better.
Well, before Earth Day, MLK Day is
Yeah.
huge. You get 600 people out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know the attendance of how many people showed up to the Earth Day event?
I think we're working on that final report.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have it in March soon.
MLK was 998 or something like that, very close to 1,000.
Yeah.
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 That was this year MLK. So.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, MLK? Oh, okay, we're talking about Earth Day.
Yeah, right, we're
Mhm.
talking about Earth
But
Day.
yeah,
But not final.
MLK was 900, maybe the same, maybe.
I-
Not really, I
500
feel
to
like, yeah,
600.
500 to 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had more people for MLK Day.
Oh, yeah, that's every year because they come from the Bay Area, far
Mhm.
throughout the Bay Area.
Okay, well, is where, do we have any public comment in relationship to the event? Did anyone attend? Yeah, but Salma, do
Just
you?
a question, at one point during the event, all of the TCP partners got together and, gave an announcement about, what they're doing with the project. When was that, like, I don't know where I was, but like, I didn't know that was happening and I was allowed, like, hey, this is the time that, everyone's gonna go up, say something, like, why was it today?
We actually talked about it in the last meeting, before the event. And we asked if anyone who wanted to be part of the speakers to let us know. And then I sent multiple emails, I think like a couple at least, adding people who told us we're willing to participate, because actually there was an agenda and they wanted the names in the agenda. So I did a couple of emails to ask for anyone who wanted to participate.
And it could have been anyone like whoever is representing today, lecture or like how does that?
Yeah, we open it to anyone. It didn't have to be executive leadership. Like for the city of Richmond, we invited the mayor to see if he wanted to talk, but we let the partners make that decision. We discussed it in the on the CSC meeting, and we asked anyone who wanted to participate.
Thank you.
And if you are interested in doing it next time, we'll let you.
Okay, no, I
No,
don't want to, I would be asked to make the.
I think there was another question.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
I attended the event, I'm an LCO resident, so same county. And I thought it was. I actually met you, I just was proposing down, get your car. And I came tonight. A 20-year winemaker, sugar farming and working on other things, and I keep telling them. I have the opportunity to generator to meet in Richmond, and I'm very interested in watching this project, and I have ideas how maybe it was working to the devil. I'm just here.
Thanks for being here. I have a card here as well. I'll give it to you. So, so as we told you, well, I don't know, is there any, are there any other public comments? ¿Hay algún otro comentario público en relación al evento de la semana pasada de Earth Day?
Yeah,
Oh.
so,
Go ahead, Alejandro.
yeah, I think that's one way, I didn't really have much. Actually, on it, there was, huge initially just, change. But, we all, I think,
Okay.
quickly, overall, the event was amazing. As much as it was the fact that the space was a little small, but it really felt very wholesome, very, family-oriented. And it felt like every single food had engagement and everything was there. Usually I think off the different ways. All the activity, all really great. So, yeah, really great.
Thanks, Alejandro. The other thing I want to say is people were really having fun, which I think was more important than just our project. Like people were really having fun, so they will come back to events that are hosted by the organizations and Richmond Rising. So I think that was a good thing. Okay, if there's no other comments, this is not we're not approving anything, we just wanted to hear from you, so this, I'm gonna go to the next, item on the agenda, and, this is not, an item that we have to approve, this is just, for us to show you the, tool that our IT team has created. This is, a map of the project area, I'm gonna reduce the size so you can see. We have the addresses of all the city, parcel, and the ones in green are the city's project, area, well, the city project area, and, this line separates the project area, as you can see. We edited the addresses, so we just have residential and businesses. We, requested the IT team to add schools. Because, we took off industrial, because we don't really have any projects that are available for them. But if you think there's anything else that we should add, let us know. The way that this tool works is you can write down in here an address. So if anyone wants to let me know an address that is in the project area, I can look it up, and Bessa, you usually have project addresses because of the solar installations. Do you have one at hand?
Where it comes to mind, come back to me.
You said Chancellor Avenue?
Yes, Chancellor Avenue, but actually I can give you one.
So as you can see, the addresses appear here, and you can look it up, and this. So you, for example, if you write Chancellor, you can look for addresses that are in the project area and addresses that are not. So this will help you directly get to there, but if you have the number, we can look it up and it will appear, and you will see the parcel in the map.
And one thing that didn't show up this time, but when it's your computer's first time opening the map, then instructions will pop up.
Oh, yeah, let me,
They didn't pop up because
because I already have the map.
you've already been, oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, okay. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't.
So the IT team requested us to add a picture, so we added a picture from the garden. But if you want us to include a different picture, we can, like, I don't know if we can use a carousel and like include multiple pictures. Maybe we can. I'm not sure about that. But if you want us to change that picture, we can also do that. And so it gives us the welcome, and then it says enter an address into the search bar, double click on a result to zoom the selected location, click on any parcel in the map view to see the parcel address, and click on the layer icon beneath the search bar to view the map legend and turn layers on and off. Oh, you want to give me the address?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just,
Also, I'd like to make a recommendation. For
Sure.
the image in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
using the Richmond Rising logo instead.
okay,
Yeah, any image.
instead of an image. Okay, that sounds good.
If y'all are okay with that,
Mhm.
just makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first draft that we get, so you have,
Looks pretty cool.
yeah, they did a fantastic job. Rebecca, our
We have
IT.
dreams of like combining it with all kinds of other layers
Yeah.
related to the projects, but
That'd be
we're
super
starting
cool.
with.
Like click in and you can see like what projects are
trees
happening.
are.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. So, usability, so is this gonna reside on
The website.
our website? And then, in terms of, public facing, somebody externally will be able to click on there and see, the different projects and what they've done to date?
No, so this is a conversation that we were having on our last meeting. We want to create an internal database so that we can add information about which projects, for example, related to solar have been installed or trees have been installed. For example, with trees, it's easier if it's like not in a private property. We don't know if residents want their information to be published. So I think that's something that we need to discuss further, because then you would know if someone has solar or not, and not that that's something that is bad or not bad, but we don't know if residents want that information available, so.
Yeah.
We will have to ask, yes, let me change.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is just a tiny observation. I know that the font makes it look like nicer, but I think in terms of like accessibility and readability, sometimes it is recommended to use just like a simpler form. We don't know if folks are gonna be using like
Yeah.
screen readings or like, so I'm wondering if it might make sense to, or like if you consider switching it to like a simpler font, just
Yeah.
for readability.
The IT person really liked this font. We didn't have a comment.
But I think, yes, we can definitely do, and, in terms of accessibility. We got a question over there, or a comment.
This kind of project, we answered the question when we talked about the benefit of neighboring and see, you know, but these are interface design, maybe hard, not all the graphics qualified. But I think that's something that might be down the road, think about is more of a representation of adoption,
Mhm.
like.
By certain neighborhood, yeah.
Data there, and you show.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely create that data,
Yeah, or maybe just in general, we could try to aggregate it to like block or make a radius, or a big radius or something.
or
So
just
if
like,
somewhere in this area were some trees.
okay, yeah, we can do that.
GIS lets you
That's
do
a
all
good idea.
sorts of like coloring, and so you can maybe just represent in terms of like a darker shade of blue with like.
Which
there's more
percentage of
trees in
adoption?
this area, or like a bigger circle, so I think that's a great, and it shouldn't be too hard on GIS.
Thanks for
Yeah.
feedback.
No, it's the Center for Global Healthy Cities.
I had a big sort of belonging and the biggest top, right? And I think it's fine.
Mhm. Definitely, yeah, we can make all those changes that are being requested. And Sarah, to your point, I think we want to create internal information where we gather this data, but also maybe represent it in a different way for public access in case residents don't want that information to be public in terms of.
I was just wondering, because the city's working with groundwork right now, trying to integrate different systems to.
The tree.
Yeah, to project the trees on transparent Richmond right now, which.
Oh, we should.
We
do
should,
it.
but so the parks has one system and the city has another
Different
system, not to capture that, but they have transparent Richmond.
Mhm.
And that information isn't, so the GIS folks are trying to integrate the system, so that happens.
Well, part of the things that we have to do in the grant is include Richmond Rising. Sorry, not Richmond Rising, Transparent Richmond is the platform where we publish information. So we will get there. We just need the information first.
Yeah,
Okay, we
yeah,
will get
totally.
there. Okay, well, if you have any feedback, we'll still send you this on the link so you can see it and play with it. You have the address.
Yes,
You want
yes, I have 854
854?
Bissell Court, 854 DISS.
Yeah, so that's the quickest way, is just to look at the drop down.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so you say it says address in GCC area. So you click on it and then you click on this one. And it takes you to the parcel. So this is the parcel.
We're trying to make it zoom in less.
It seems too much,
Well, too.
but as you can see, if you zoom out, so you see it and it's in the project area and it keeps highlighted even after you close so you can see here the parcel.
Oh, yeah.
I got another one if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to.
I'm just noticing that, is Atkinson Village, in this one?
Yes.
It is?
Mhm.
Okay, is it that, at the point over here? on
McDonald's.
On the parkway right there?
Yeah.
So I think those dotted lines that are inside of it are the neighborhoods.
Mhm.
And that's where you see the addresses that are not in the neighborhoods, but are in the project area.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we asked Rebecca to include the neighborhoods in the map too. And we also asked her to include the project, so the complete street, the second phase of the Richmond Wellness Trail, and the bike stations at some point once we have finalized the locations, we can also include
I
them.
want
in
to
here.
zoom into Unity Park. I think if you zoom in a little bit, just to Ohio, it should give you an example of what we're talking about. It was in there earlier.
I just cannot see because I have this, let's see.
I know, we gotta get rid of that. Can I make a note that we should move this thing out the way?
Yeah, oh, okay, here it is.
Oh, yeah, so, okay, you can see lifelong right there.
Mhm.
So we're trying, and there's a picture of backyard.
Ah.
So if you give us a picture of what you want us to include, we will.
Okay.
But, and we can definitely include trees, Sarah, if you want us to post that as a layer. And so let us know what you think should be in here. And the e-bike lane library and the, ADA garden are already here too, I think.
Yeah, and there's, you gotta like look for it here, but we put a picture of the plants.
Thank you. Can I send you a rendering of the future building?
I think that's what we did.
Oh, cool. That's
That's in the plans.
Yeah.
That's why I see the plans on there.
I'm just trying to look for Unity Park, but I just,
It should be right.
Ohio and-
oh, there we go. So,
Wow. Yeah.
No, we didn't have a new one. That's still the, that's the non-bike related imagery, but it's fine. I mean, we can upgrade it.
yes, I haven't,
But if you couldn't address it, not in your area, what happened?
oh, we didn't try one, but,
So when you start typing it, it'll say not in the project area if it's in the city of Richmond. But if it's not in the city of Richmond, it doesn't show at all.
well, for example, Civic Center,
Or is it?
Yeah.
446.
450.
Yeah, so you see when you start typing it, it'll say,
oh, sorry,
That is awesome.
yeah, right.
Right.
But it does have to be in Richmond.
Okay,
so it tell us not in the TCC area.
I wish LMAP did that.
Well, we just use the parcels from our database in planning, related to businesses and residential. So if you look up for any other address that is not in Richmond, it's not gonna appear.
Okay.
So it's gonna make it easier. If you look for an address in Oakland or San Francisco, it's just not gonna be in the table. This is just for Richmond. Yes,
Do you have that property data to hide out the data? Organization use that kind of thing?
we do, we just don't have it public. We cannot put that in public yet.
You want to let them know.
Yes, we actually have that database open and we can send that on the list of things that we have for community engagement. And I think what we would need to do at some point is sit down and discuss how we are gonna do outreach coordinated. Because I think a lot of you are gonna go to property owners. And if you're gonna do that, how do we kind of like share flyers, share information about residents who are interested in the projects in trees or in any of the things that are offered to residents. So yes, yeah, you can share that in the email. Okay, feel free to send us comments. We will send an email with the link and everything, so you can look at it closely and play with it and let us know like if you think there's anything that we can change or add. And once we have a version with changes, we'll post it on the website. And I think we should post it as soon as possible because we can continue doing edits and like anything that you provide us with, we can keep updating the same link. Do we have any other questions from the public? ¿Hay alguna otra pregunta en el público que quieran que resolvamos? ¿Comentarios? Okay. There's no approval of anything in here, so I'm just gonna go with the next topic in our agenda. So we wanted to have a general discussion on best practices for outreach, and I think this includes information related to what each organization is doing, but also an update on youth fellows and climate health promoters as outreach support, because we are currently in the process of hiring a youth fellow project manager for Rich City Rice, who's going to be coordinating the youth fellows. And there's also a climate health promoters program that is going to be going out into the community. So these two programs are going to provide support to your projects. We want to know what you have on your list of things that you want to work on. You have on your workbook specific activities that are related to that, but let us know if there's anything else that we need to consider in the outreach practices. So this is floor for the project lead.
So are we talking about outreach potential, so, because you know, we are out there canvassing every week specifically for trees, and so are you proposing to create some kind of materials, outreach materials that Richmond Rising list of menu options, or?
We have it in there. We have the collective one, so we are happy to share those with everyone. We have in the office more flyers in case you need them, and we can print you more anytime that you want. We've been offering that or give you the electronic version if you prefer that to send to your email list or.
Yeah, well, I guess the question is then that we go door to door, so are we, I mean, of course, we're talking about Richmond Rising, but then with the focus on trees, and we're just signing people up for trees. We're not gonna sign up for solar, but we're gonna talk to them about, in terms of cross promoting, what are you?
That's the conversation that we're having right now, because we both figure out it was necessary because we are all doing efforts out there, and how can we coordinate them so we spend more efficiently our resources. Yeah.
I'm curious as to, the limits to, not necessarily sharing data, but I know like, Resilient Homestead, like we have materials that we would love to share electronically if possible. And one thing which has been in front of mind for about a year now, because I've been like, doing a thing where we promote to each other's networks, particularly people who are on mailing lists and the like. And for us in particular, as an example, like we have clients that previously installed, we have clients that have previously referred. And one thing which we've been doing in terms of promoting this is definitely telling them like, hey, you don't only just get solar, but you get energy efficiency. And you don't only get solar with energy efficiency, but there's these other host of things. So in particular, like grid alternatives, we'd love to get any digital material you have, because a lot of our clients and a lot of people we've been promoting to have sort of been like, where is the other stuff? You know, and realizing we sort of like got ahead of ourselves. I think that that's one method that I think as soon as we could get in communication about, I remember reaching out to Urban Tilt a whole year ago. But even at that time, it is the time to.
I think that's a fantastic idea. We can definitely collect all the flyers and share them with every partner, so you are informed about how anyone can join the programs that we are offering to the community. The second thing that I believe we can do is start sharing our contact information, so we can send emails or collectively send information. We're building a database based on residents who have signed up to know more about the project. So we're happy to send anything that you want us to send in that list. So these are people who sign up to the list and want to receive information from Richmond. So if you have contact information of people who want to be informed, add it to our database. So we have one specific place. The city has got a license for Chimpvale. Is that the?
Melton.
So we can use that as our center of distribution, and we're happy to include information for everyone. Yes.
I'm very happy. I'm gonna chat about get information from the resident once, and they check boxes for all the UCs for all of the programs you guys have.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. We could.
So, and that's what I was getting at. What's the process that if we're proposing?
A checklist.
Yeah. Well, but I'm not saying yes to that yet. The question I have, so we have our workforce development, our youth 18 to 25, and we've trained them and they represent Groundwork Richmond. So it's not Richmond Rising because we have several projects. Now they're canvassing for Bosque. And so now we changed their script, talk about Richmond Rising, and we have these potential other options, check boxes or.
No, I don't think so. I think it's for the youth fellows and then the climate health promoters. They would be focused on Richmond Rising, all of the.
They'll be the transversal, like engagement people.
So not our supporters that are.
So we'll stay outreach in our own individual projects, but then they'll be on the ground.
Nice.
doing intake for everyone in every project.
Unless you wanna collect flyers from the whole team, and we can do that. I think we're gonna have all this folks focused on engagement, and we can definitely create for them a checklist, or we have the flyers that have information about each of the programs. We can also have a QR code for each of them. I think we can discuss how exactly we want to get that done. The other proposal that someone made was creating an app that you can download, and then just have people request request it directly through adding your address. I don't know if we can, I mean, could we do it? Yes, I don't know how much that would cost, and we don't have budget for that. Not currently assigned, at least we would have to move money from another place to create an app, because that was not something that we thought when we were applying for the grant.
Yeah, to Terry's point, in spite of everything, what it sounds like is gonna happen is that all our projects are outreaching. And so you are gonna have multiple people coming out and
To your
asking,
place.
and you fellows as well, so, yeah, it's,
Do you think it would be overwhelming for residents and homeowners?
I mean, people still answering the doors so far.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't agree with you that, you know, after a while, people might get kind of irritated, I don't know.
And that was a conversation that Alejandro and I had previously about giving people like IDs to identify themselves as project.
Well, that's for sure, yeah,
Yeah, because that's something that could support us in terms of just letting people know that they're part of this initiative, and that they have IDs that prove that too, in terms of security, for sure. Sure.
Do you have resources to do something more like grassroots, like say, every Sunday you're in a different neighborhood, and then again, that, because it seems to me like you're gonna have a step process, you want to sign up for the with like, and just tell everybody, by checking what they're interested in, and then you ask experts. You know, I mean, I don't even think about adoption practices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I know.
but I think the other thing that could help is that we definitely need to do more marketing at media level, not just social media, but the press or whatever.
Yeah.
Consistent articles talking about that, so, you know, people are gonna be knocking on your door. So-
And maybe radio too, because a lot
Yeah.
of people hear mostly Spanish
And English
speaking
and
radio.
Spanish, yeah.
Mhm.
Billboard. No.
Sorry,
No,
less because they're expensive.
It's like 2,000.
Like a blimp or something?
A blimp, yeah. A blimp.
Yeah, a blimp.
A billboard.
Literally.
I think. Oh, we have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Alejandro.
Our perspective with filling phones, particularly with TV apps.
Yeah.
So, going to the area is very good compared to other teams and bit of a challenging. Like we people go to the doors for a while to hear from us. But here's not the ratio is a bigger compared to other places. And to me, like there's the middle ground, like I did it actually called for the secure one. For us, one political letter program. And legitimize it. There is a business of like.
Overwhelming.
Some folks will get bothered about. But I think overall, I think we do need some of that to keep contact. Multiple folks that I know. Program, multiple partner, and really.
Thanks, Alejandro. I think that's true. Like just repeating the information can be useful, and I think we have unified flyers that we can provide to everyone, so that if they want to reach out, we have a way to get them. And to Terry's point, I think we can do something that makes it more efficient, and we will figure that out for our sign up. So that way we redirect the information to the project managers, and you can get that. Yes,
I think one thing which was one thing which was powerful about the Earth Day event is that we were all consolidated in one area. And so with some of the partners that we have that provide more services regularly to the people in this area, i.e. Urban Tell, i.e. Lifelong. figuring out event days that we have that would have a representative from each of the project
Okay.
partners, because that could be like something that can come in and sort of like sign up or learn about a host of Richmond Rising events. And perhaps that might be a point, a touch point to be able to promote and capture.
So let's do the calendar so we can get those things going and we can coordinate for having more events like that. And we can use the passbooks to support those efforts where there's at least a couple more organizations besides the city or any of the partners in this committee.
Thank you.
I think another good thing might be just making sure that the staff know about the other programs, just what they are, so that if it comes up,
Mhm.
they can say, you don't have to say, this is how you sign up, maybe, but just like, yes, there's things, so they know they're part of a bigger program, and if they get questions, they at least are aware that it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some way, I feel like they need a bit of a script.
Absolutely, yeah, I mean,
It's not just the cute fellows.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know that we're gonna resolve it. I mean, our folks are already,
Out.
we're getting our maps and our canvassing and our outreach plan. It's already in motion.
In motion, yeah.
And so, and I don't know that, anybody's gonna stop what they're doing because that's how we're gonna end up doing whatever, solar trees or whatever. So I'm not sure.
I want to propose just like thinking about like a system that we can create, like a spreadsheet of some sort with just like all the addresses in the project area. And then like columns with like our projects and like who has outreach to what house, if they answered the door or not. And then maybe developing a script, right, for folks that are on the ground, like, hey, I'm here representing, Orchard for All for fruit tree care maintenance, but a part of a bigger program. But this is the service we're offering. But if you're interested in others, I can note that here. And then in that spreadsheet somehow noting that this homeowner is interested in these other projects, and then
How
so we
many
can just like,
addresses are there?
8,000.
well, that'd be a big spreadsheet, huh?
And who do you propose, does that, our,
I mean, it could be in the scope of the work of the outreach,
Yeah.
folks, so like if they're already going out outreaching, they're like, in a week, I don't know how many, folks they're outreaching to, but they print out just a certain amount, and then as a part of their work, they're like updating on the spreadsheet. I don't know.
but who's creating this?
Oh, who's creating the spreadsheet? Oh, that's the city
We already have. We already have the database.
But yeah, I just.
We
I
would
don't
need
know.
to,
Print it out, yeah.
not print it out, but like just, it's gonna be a lot. It has to be electronic, I think. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was just like, how do we create like a cohesive, transparent system between all the
Well, yeah,
projects that are
totally
just like,
with you.
who have you outreached to? Who are these homeowners and what are they interested in? Did they even answer the door? Then what is our other forms of communication that we're gonna try to reach this person,
I agree.
Maybe
Like this.
we can just create a simple form that, ask them directly, are you interested in any of this project?
Mhm.
And then we just, give that put it in the spreadsheet and the project managers reach out to them, directly.
Yeah, maybe we could do like a follow-up at some point and just email everyone that's been involved in your projects and just say, hey, since you participated in this project, we just want to let you know about the other things. Fill out the short survey if you're interested in other things or something like that. I would like to send it to.
We have to remember that a lot of people don't have emails, because based on the collection of the information that we've got, we have mostly phone numbers and less email addresses. So we have to keep that in mind. But yes, if that's a good idea, we can send text messages too.
One thing, I'd appreciate, I think Holmes would appreciate that we've been working this whole time now, like to have conjoined scripts that actually detail each other's programs. And at this point, it would be great to really get a little bit more information about the pipeline in the library, or tree planting, like, because these are things that sort of like, I've been gun shy about telling clients about it because,
We don't know that
we
much
don't know
information.
yet, but I think at this point, to start to at least have a little bit of an elevator pitch about each of the different.
Would you like us to schedule like at least 1 or 2 presentations from the partners during the CSE meeting, so we can all like be aware of what is going on in the other projects, because we do the updates, but we haven't heard like the full information. We can do 1 or 2 per meeting, so it's kind of like we keep it continuously with the projects that are the most advanced that can provide us the largest amount of details. Because I was thinking the e-bike lending library, I mean, we know the location, we know the first draft of the design, but we don't know much details about when this is going to be finished and how many. Well, we know the number of bikes, but if they want to see the bikes, we don't have them yet because it's going to be a building, right? So, yeah, if this is something that you are interested in, if you think it might not be useful, we can find another way.
I like that.
Yeah, for example, you could do, Sarah, and you could present on your projects which are already operating, because, and Urban Kill has all the projects that are already operating, so.
I'll say yes, because Lorena will be at the next one.
Okay,
No, actually, yeah.
go ahead,
Yeah, I think that one of the like extreme. We do have sign up on it, and I can't remember if the developer or not, but it's one of the things where you could check mark what program you reach out to.
Yep, we can do that.
And then, for us, for example, like in Red Field, you can ask the resident, these are the other programs. Is it okay if we give them their information? And so we can go in and fill out a form for them, those who don't have internet or don't use the internet. Right, we fill out a form for them, their name, contact information, and then check mark all the programs, and then that goes to the database of the sheet form or whatever you need. Just act that.
Yeah, that's
So, like, good work, particularly your. Just one of the ways that people share.
Yeah. You had another.
I would say definitely, one of the ones is streamline all the business data is like normalized, everything modeled out. So, and it's super powerful.
Okay, so we'll work on that checklist so people can just sign up for whatever information they would like to get. And we'll work on the database for addresses with spaces for you to add information, whether you decide to use it or not, that we can talk more about later.
Implementation.
Implementation.
I don't mean to talk so much, but one.
This is the space, so.
Okay. One area which we're moving upon now is texting as well, because we've noted that a lot of people don't access computers or have it, but we're using a vendor called Mowgli, and I can offline just send you the information about that if that's something. But perhaps like text transfer, so if people wanted to learn more information, they text something and then their phone, they get a link, and the link would take them to a web page. Because they have phone mobility, like that's because we've had that variance as well, because the majority of our clients aren't online, but texting tends to
Connect, can connect
What
people.
was the name of that platform?
Mowgli, Mogli. And I'm more than happy to share it with anyone who reach out to me.
Thanks, Ambessa. We'll take on that. Okay, do we have any other public comments, questions? No. And so this is a discussion. There's no approval of the topic, but we will gather all the information that you guys provided, and we'll come with documents. We'll send you, first of all the things that we already have, so you can provide feedback. Second, we will try to figure out how to address the things that you requested, like having the survey, adding the Google Forms, gather the address data set, so we can all do outreach collectively, and we'll focus on identifying the events with you, so we can coordinate, and also figure out how we can share all the digital materials with all of us, so everyone has information about all the programs. I'm gonna go. Oh. What?
Did you want to do the other item?
Yeah, what did I want to do?
The other item was.
update on youth fellows and climate earth promoters, outreach report. Well, I just did. We don't know yet when we're gonna get the, manager hired. The climate health promoters are actually gonna start doing a training starting May 8th, so next week. And, they're gonna be, providing information on all the programs, but their main target is to, provide information on climate health. And, their module is really, really interesting. And if you wanna join the training, you're also welcome to join. What, did you wanna add anything in particular? Yeah, that's what is happening right now. So they're gonna be our first, outreach, support. So, we'll keep you posted on this. Okay, so Alche, I apologize that we're gonna give you just a little time, but the youth Berkeley team wanted to provide updates on the work that they're doing, so Alche, it's yours.
I think we haven't yet, so it's nice to meet you in person. I think this is going to be less of a structured, like, methodology kind of check-in, but more of a check-in in terms of where we are and hopefully outlining next steps. As you know, we've been meeting with project partners, I anticipated earlier, and these meetings have been really helpful. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us and you teach us more about your project, and talk through us about what indicators we're hoping to track. I think, again, in terms of next steps, what we're hoping will happen is that by the end of May, ideally, we will provide another draft of the report with the updated changes after the conversations that we've had with you all. And it is going to be key, and we are asking that you revise those, not only to make sure that, like, one, the conversations we've had was accurately reflected on the tables, but also to make sure that you feel like you have all the information you need and, like, are clear on what you are required to track. And that is most important because the way we're envisioning the reporting so far is that the project leads will be in charge of, like, once you have the indicators, you're in charge of reporting those and figuring out how you're going to report those. I'll make a note here. It sounds like some organizations already have systems in place to track information internally, and you will be ultimately responsible to do the day-to-day tracking, whether it's trees or bikes. So if you have a system in place, we'd love for you to keep using whatever system you have. If you take a look at the tables and you see indicators that we agreed on for you to keep track, but you don't have a system in place yet, feel free to either reach out to us if you would like support in designing a tool. We're more than happy to do that, or have conversations internally with the organization in terms of what would make most sense for you to use. Again, we're trying to not kind of interfere too much with your own internal reporting systems. So again, we'll send out the tables. Please take a look, let us know if they make sense and what systems you're kind of planning to use. And then on our end, we are working, once we have all of the meetings, we're gonna create a big map of all of the deadlines, because some of you are going to be reporting quarterly, others by month, and there's just too many, I think, internal deadlines to keep track of. And I think our role, or we think our role, is to kind of make that as easy as possible for everybody to keep track of what we need to be reporting. And so we're having conversations in terms of what that process will look like. We are thinking, big question mark right now, about ways in which we can integrate the reporting with the invoicing, because you're already asked to do that and you already have, like, a deadline that you have to meet. And so we're thinking maybe that's a good moment for you to also be reporting data back to us. Having said that, some projects have a lot of information that they have to report, so it wouldn't make sense to report all of it. So what we can plan is to send out that report, and then once we have a better sense of what the actual reporting, like, structure will look like for you to, once you have collected the data, to give it to us, we can hold workshops, like data workshops, where we can all meet maybe during the community meetings and go through the process. Once again, we don't want this to be too burdensome for you all, so we are thinking that it might be good for us to sit down once the system is in place and to almost, like, run a simulation, and we can talk about whether the process seems, like, straightforward enough, whether there's questions or places where we could improve the process. And I'll say something else that came up during the meetings is that we'd love for you all to start thinking about as you start, like, doing outreach, is, for example, thinking about how you collect data, like social media outreach. All of you are doing different things. Some of you, turns out, are using TikTok, others are using Instagram or Facebook. What we are gonna need is one. But we would love to hear from you when you give us that number. Okay, we're giving you 500. Does that mean you're giving us Facebook views, TikTok views, whatever like measures you're using that make sense for you? Just make sure that you're letting us know, okay, we're reporting Facebook and TikTok, whereas Urban Tilt will be reporting Instagram, something like that. So I think that's the update I have, just recapping, because I tend to just go on tangents. We'll send the updated report. Love to hear back from you to make sure that it makes sense. Make sure that the indicators that are listed in the tables feel within scope and like feasible in terms of tracking. Start thinking about your social media and how you'll report that to us, and we'll plan to have workshops. Any comments, feedback, thoughts, concerns?
We have 2 more meetings scheduled this week, with Resilient Homes and Trust for Public Land. And, if we can schedule today the meeting with, Robert Richmond, it would be fantastic, because that way we close all the reviews that we have with partners. And if we can do, well, if we need to do follow-ups at some point, we'll do later, but yeah, that will help us close the loop, so.
Absolutely.
I actually asked Sarah to have that conversation with you when you
Okay,
came.
we'll chat.
Any public comments related to this item? Any additional questions and comments from the committee? This was just an update, so if there's no additional comments, I'm just gonna go to the next agenda requests. Do you have any topic that you want us to include on our next meeting? And this is open for the committee members or for members of the public.
Do you have a deadline for when we can submit a request for the agenda?
We submit the draft 10 days before
So I have 20 days to submit it.
yeah, I mean, yes, you have 20 days to submit it. When we send the agenda, you have the day, the Friday, after we send the agenda to add anything that you want.
Okay.
I saw a hand in the back.
Here's mine,
Oh, was there any?
grant, is there a plan to go beyond the project area, or is the grant just the project?
The grant is just for the project area, because the funding that was received required the area to be on Calaveras Spring 75th percentile, meaning that the area need to have a certain level of pollution, disproportionately polluted areas, and that was corresponding to just the 3 neighborhoods that were selected, and the area next to the port actually does not belong to that same number, but they let us have an additional percentage of project area that was not complying with that requirement. So not for now, unless we apply for a different grant.
As you can, what I talked about, maybe that light bulb going off, if you're thinking about expanding outside of the project area someday.
Not for now, though. A lot of the organizations work outside of the project area too. So not as a collective Richmond Rising project, but I think a lot of the organizations sitting here, including the city of Richmond, have operation outside of the project area. Okay. Do any agenda requests for the next meeting? You can still send it.
20 days.
I'll wait till the last minute.
Does anyone have a general announcement? I'm just gonna let the committee first.
Are there any plans for Richmond Rising at Cinco de Mayo? I know it's like outside the project area, but I mean.
We're attending, but just tabling. We're not hosting any event. And Richmond Rice is coming. MCE is coming. I saw them on the map that they sent.
You're taking the city of Richmond or as Richmond Rising?
Richmond Rising.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Richmond Rising. Fire department is coming. I think environmental initiatives is coming. City manager's office is coming, but we're in different tables. So yeah, we'll be doing Richmond Rising. So if you want us to take your flyers, let us know, and we already have,
Orchard
Basis.
no basins of relations.
Need some orchard also.
Yeah, if you wanna give us, we'll take them with us.
All right, do you want physical flyers?
We have yours in electronic, so I could print them potentially,
And so that's Sunday,
but you're
right?
gonna have Alexandra there, so you don't need me.
Yeah, Sunday's the table.
Yeah,
Really close down 23rd, right?
10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Gonna be long.
I think I can pop one on, well, that would just be there.
Okay, well, if you want us to count up flyers, if you want to join our table, join us. We're more than happy to have you there because we're gonna be tabling as Richmond Rising, so you don't need to pay for another table. We got the city to pay for the different departments, so you're welcome to join us and bring flyers and come with your the information about your project. We'll be there.
Do you want to go to the public? Or is it public?
Oh, sorry about that. There was a comment. Oh, in the back.
For the summer, duty, regard what.
Yeah, we haven't been, we actually don't know if we're gonna participate because I haven't seen the invitation. We usually get one and we haven't got one. Are you participating in the coordination of the event?
No, I'm basic, I was asking.
Oh, yeah, we were thinking, but we haven't heard from them yet, so we will try to just.
There's already been an invitation. out.
Really? I haven't seen it. Did they send it to you? Would you share it with us?
I'll look for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the next event that we can coordinate on for Eugene. 'Cause we still are on time for that.
Where is that usually held at Nickel Park?
And that's a huge event.
Okay, well, we should definitely go there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, thanks everyone for coming. This is the end of the meeting, so we will see you in a month, Wednesday, June 3rd. Is that correct?